Okay, so last night I posted a video quite late titled "Flying with Fat People," and tonight I'm gonna just do the second part of that video because I very much want to do it as two parts. So it was quite interesting because for me it was something that I'd been thinking about doing for a little while, and it wasn't to get anyone or to be rude or mean or nasty. It was very much to poise the question: is it ever okay to say to somebody, "You're too fat"? That was it. I was asking the question, and the responses were really good, and I was really pleased to see some of the comments and responses because, as I'd hoped and expected, people were saying no, it's not okay to say that, and there were loads of different kind of takes on it and different thoughts, and some comments on Facebook, some comments and comment on YouTube, which I thought was really good, from the person that left it, just kind of really telling the story from somebody that's I believe quite overweight and really struggled with their weight. So I think that was really powerful for them to be able to come out and say that. And it wasn't a case of me trying to, like I say, get at people or be mean or anything like that. It was more of a case of trying to ask the question, start the debate, and yeah. So I got some really good responses from that. And in a second, I'm gonna give my personal thoughts and sort of put that out because I didn't do that yesterday purposely because I wanted to see what everyone else thought. And today, funny enough, I noticed just about 20 minutes ago, half an hour ago, I was looking through against some media outlets. I saw actually on Yahoo, funny enough this time, that a woman in America, her and her son got taken off a flight, told they'd have to leave a flight because they have a skin condition, which basically means the skin flakes. And other passengers complained about it, and she had to leave the plane. I was reading the article, and there was a piece from her saying it was one of the most embarrassing times of her life. She felt so upset and sad and hurt, and embarrassed, and basically victimized. And she had a small child with her, about 20 months, because of this condition, which is something she can't help at all. And she was asked to remove. She was removed from the plane. The airline have since apologised, said it should never have happened, and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully there'll be some kind of resolution there for her. But it doesn't stop the initial part happening. And I guess this gets to the crux of the problem. And somebody rightly said that I posted a video the other day about. I put a video up the other day about how we treat people and about it was about positive. Oh God, sorry, it's been a long day. A long day. It was about positive discrimination. So it was about that. But anyway, look, my point on it is that whilst that happened obviously in the US where a guy sat down and he was sat next to and another guy who was quite heavily obese sat next to him, and he didn't like that was encroaching in space, and I get that. I understand where he's coming from because nobody likes other people encroaching on their personal space, but at the end of the day, we're all here. We all live in the same world. We all live in the same planet. We all live in the same world. We all play the same game in the sense of living and our lives, and everyone has different aims and things, but and everyone has different challenges, but fundamentally people should be, I believe people should be compassionate, people should be open and honest, and I think people should be understanding of themselves and others. And I think that's really the key here. And it was something that somebody commented on my Facebook post, and I thought it was really key. It's about the compassion, it's about the understanding, and kind of the shaming of it is kind of, I'd put to one side because I think different people take things in different ways, but it's about compassion. It's about thinking about how you want to be treated. And whilst not everybody, specifically in this instance, necessarily is obese because of dietary, some are medical based, some issues are medical based, and other people really struggle with weight due to their genetics, due to their lifestyle that they can't maybe change for various reasons. It's such a big spectrum, but I'm not really going to go into that. But I guess my point is that it comes down to compassion, and I always say that if people had more compassion and more understanding, and we spent less time in our busy lives and our busy worlds, then actually the world would be a much better place. And I'm a really strong believer in the concept of, if people didn't do things for money, then I think the world would be a far better place. And I'll come back I'll rehash in a sec. But and that's fundamentally because if people weren't driven by money and they were driven by the betterment of humanity, let's say, which is a very Star Trek kind of out there sort of thinking, but if you're not driven by money, but you're driven by the betterment of humanity, and everybody is driven by that, then suddenly you've got 7 billion people all striving for the same goal. And that suddenly brings cohesion and collaboration and will move the whole world forwards. But also that will I believe that will give people compassion to understand other people, and there'll be, I don't know, I guess more sense to it. Because if you're not paying for a plane seat, then there's no corporation trying to make money off that seat, and therefore there's no restriction on the size of that seat, and therefore the whole problem goes away. I guess to come back to it, but it's probably oversimplifying it. But anyway, my point was that I wasn't trying to be rude. I wasn't trying to be mean to anybody. I wasn't trying to victimize anybody. I was purely asking for comments about whether people thought it was okay to ever say, you're too fat. And I don't think it ever is, if I'm honest. And like I said, I think it comes down to compassion and understanding and thinking about what others are. So that was this blog, or this vlog, sorry. Wasn't driven for views. As I say, I don't even look at how many people follow me. Apparently there's 112 because that's what somebody said to me today. It's not about views. It's about, this is my diary for me. And I've said this numerous times in different videos, that if I don't write in a diary on an evening or on a regular basis, that's why I do videos. And if I was going to write a diary, this is the type of stuff that I would write, but I just choose to chuck it out there on social media and chuck it out there on YouTube and stuff and see, you know, people respond to it. Brilliant. If they don't, makes no difference. It's an outlet for me. Anyway, that's it. I'm gonna close that blog off now. I'm gonna title it up Flying with Fat People Part 2, and that was it. I'd again love to hear your comments, your thoughts. I'll try and make these things shorter as I go forward, because I'm going to pick up some more controversial topics, because I like to understand what other people think. And I like to kind of run those thoughts through my head. So anyway, hope you've had a good Monday, and yeah, we'll see what people's comments are from here. Brother, it's caught in the crossfire.